Alright, so, this is another one of those requested job battles that I completely forgot about after making Warrior vs. Cat, so what better time to make it than a year and 5 months after the last one. Let's get started. Princess vs. Popstar job battle. Princess. Popstar does not have a single target move. I could stop there for this category, but I'll elaborate a bit on why Princess's single target moves kinda suck. Normal Royal Wave is outclassed pretty damn quickly. There's never a good reason to use it over double Royal Wave. The basic attack is fine, but pretty weak when compared to most other jobs. Double Royal Wave is pretty much the only good move for this category, as it remains useful late into the game, and even then it can't really be counted as a single target move. I'm only counting it because you can't control who gets hit by the second wave, only the first one. Now, considering Popstar doesn't have any single target moves, you'd think it'd pretty easily take the point for AoE damage, right? Yeah. Princess has Ultimate Royal Wave unlocked at level 30. It's alright, but not necessarily anything too useful. Most of the time, double Royal Wave is cheaper and better. Popstar has its basic attack as well as both of the out of tunes. The first is pretty rarely used because most of the time Encore is just a better choice, but way out of tune is actually a really solid move. The 13-ish damage dealt to the other Miis is completely negligible by level 21, which is when you unlock it, and if we were to count double Royal Wave as an AoE, then it would be a closer battle, but without it, Popstar takes this one easily. I was very heavily debating splitting this category in two because of how many moves there are, but ultimately I decided to keep it one category because I genuinely do not know how I'd split it. So, the support moves. Regal Dance is simply a better version of Earworm. Earworm has a 50% chance to make an enemy dance, while Regal Dance has a 70% chance. The two MP heals are another story. High Tea is free and works on both the Princess and the other Mii, while Chiron isn't free but affects the whole party outside of the Miis that are currently in a quarrel with the Popstar. Which one do I pick here? Because on one hand, Chiron is better because it works on more people, but at the same time, Popstars are generally used more in physical teams where you only really need to turn in the safe spot max to heal up enough MP. High Tea comes in useful way more often because Princess is a lot more useful for magic teams who need way more MP. I'm leaning towards Princess, but let's look at the others first. For Popstar, Love and Peace is a really nice quality of life move, but isn't really necessary for anything. One outing ticket at the next inn and you're done. Love Song is really annoying because the AI really likes it for some reason when it's almost never useful because most of the time your relationship levels are all largely the same. Smooth Moves is incredibly useless because the safe spot exists and that heals MP as well. I have, however, left the two most busted moves for last. Angelic Voice can get you out of some situations that you could not imagine were winnable. The 30% chance is pretty damn low and it's almost never worth it if only one Mii is down, but if the Popstar is the last one standing, it can be a gigantic lifesaver. Finally, Encore is one of the best support moves a physical team could want. Now, let's look at Princess's other moves. Escort is a better version of Warning because it negates even the splash damage from enemies like the Burning Golem. The Blindfold is one of the most useful support moves in the game. If you have both a Princess and a Scientist on your team, forget like 75% of the statuses because both Blindfold and Safety Mask have a 50% chance of blocking any status. Finally, Eau de Cologne is a board-wide version of Sweet Whispers, except it has a 70% chance of working on every individual enemy. Pretty good, but Imp is definitely better for the 100% chance. Okay, now that we got the full picture, which one's better? Don't get mad at me, but it's Princess by a very small margin. They both have the same amount of moves, it's just that Popstar has a lot more random bonus moves that are almost never useful. Fun fact, outside of HP and defense, all of Princess's stats are higher than Popstar's. That said, Popstar gets this point easily because it is genuinely insane how tanky it is. Even in the context of a physical team that would have, say, a Warrior and Chef in the mix, Popstar is still somehow the bulkiest. Princess is also among the bulkiest in most Magic teams, but that doesn't say much since Magic teams have like 220 HP per Mii at most. This is an easy point for Popstar. And that is it. The final score is a tie with both jobs having 2 points. Yeah, that tracks. Both Popstar and Princess are really good support jobs, but they're only good in their own playstyle. Popstar is really good for physical teams, while Princess is really good for magic teams, so it makes sense for the two to tie. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.